What's the most unbelievable story that's happened to you?
A few years ago, my dad's truck got broken into. They didn't take the radio. They didn't take the tools. They took his rings. He always wore several silver rings, but he'd take them off to drive because the steering wheel rubbed against them. One day, he forgot them in the truck, and they were gone. Now, my dad isn't the type to accept gifts, especially if it's replacing something he lost because of his own mistake. So I couldn't just buy him new ones and hand them over. Instead, I came up with a plan. Over the years, I've been slowly replacing them. I'll save up, find a ring that looks just like one of the stolen ones, and then stage it so he finds it himself. The first time, I told him I found one buried in the snow while shoveling. Months later, I discovered another one in the garden. Last time, I left one right outside our front door. Every single time, his face lights up like he's just been reunited with an old friend. And the best part? He has no idea it's me. My dad never knew those rings were a gift from me. I guess sometimes the most meaningful moments are the ones that go unspoken. Kind of like this next story, when silence cost my friend something he can never get back.
I was sitting alone in the sauna at my gym, staring at the floor, wondering what I was doing with my life. You know those moments where the road ahead is just fog. Then the door opened. A man walked in, probably in his late 50s or early 60s, and sat down across from me. It was just the two of us. Something inside me said, ask him. Ask him what he regrets. Ask him what he'd do differently if he could be 20 again. But I didn't. My social anxiety, and, honestly, my fear of talking to men, kept me silent. We sat there in the heat, breathing the same heavy air, until he got up and left. I've always wondered what he would have said. Sometimes I think life puts people in front of us for a reason. And if we stay silent, the lesson disappears forever. I never asked that man his advice, and I'll always wonder what wisdom I missed out on. But sometimes, life doesn't give you the choice to stay silent. Sometimes, it hits you so hard, you can't ignore it. I never asked that man his advice, and I'll always wonder what wisdom I missed out on. But sometimes, life doesn't give you the choice to stay silent. Sometimes, it hits you so hard, you can't ignore it. A few years ago, I decided I was done. I drove over an hour to the top of a mountain, a place full of good memories, because I wanted it to be my last stop. Halfway up, the sky exploded. A sideways, movie-level thunderstorm. Rain so hard I could barely see. It felt like the world was putting on a show just for me. When I got to the trailhead, the storm slowed. I stepped out of my car, and then... boom! Lightning. 15 feet away. My ears rang, my vision blurred, my heart was racing. And then... I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so wild, so unexpected, that it shook me out of my head completely. I walked that trail. I looked at the mountains. And I drove back down to call my sister instead. I'm not a religious person, but that storm felt like the universe telling me, not yet.